Today on Bench Briefs, we're looking at a recent Supreme Court of Canada decision that tackles the tricky balance between police powers and individual rights during vehicle searches. In RV Underwood, the court examined whether a search of a car during a traffic stop was lawful and whether the evidence found should be thrown out because of a charter breach. Here's what happened. Underwood was pulled over by police during a routine traffic stop. When officers searched his vehicle, they found a significant quantity of controlled substances. This discovery led to charges of possession for the purpose of trafficking. But Underwood challenged the search itself, arguing that it violated his rights under the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. He claimed the search was unlawful, so the evidence obtained should be excluded from his trial. The case made its way through the lower courts, which disagreed on whether the search was justified and whether the evidence should be admitted. Ultimately, the Supreme Court had to clarify the legal standards that apply when police search a vehicle during a traffic stop, especially focusing on two key points: searches incident to arrest and reasonable suspicion. So, what exactly was at stake here? The first issue was whether the police had the legal authority to search Underwood's vehicle in the way they did. Under Canadian law, police can sometimes search a vehicle without a warrant, but only in specific circumstances, like if someone is arrested or if officers have reasonable grounds to suspect a crime is being committed. The court had to decide if those conditions were met. The second issue was about the Charter's protection against unreasonable search and seizure. Even if the search was technically allowed, if it violated Underwood's rights, the evidence could still be excluded under Section 24(2) of the Charter. This section says that evidence obtained in a way that infringes on Charter rights should be excluded if admitting it would bring the administration of justice into disrepute. The Supreme Court's decision in R v. Underwood clarified how these principles apply in the context of vehicle stops. The court emphasized that there must be a clear legal basis for the search. A search incident to arrest is only justified if the arrest itself is lawful and if the search is closely connected to that arrest. Similarly, reasonable suspicion can't be vague or based on mere hunches. It requires specific and articulable facts that would lead a reasonable officer to suspect criminal activity. In Underwood's case, the court found that the police did not have sufficient grounds to justify the search under these standards. The traffic stop alone did not give police the right to conduct a full search of the vehicle without more. Because the search was deemed unlawful, the evidence gathered had to be excluded to uphold the integrity of the justice system. Why does this matter beyond one case? Well, vehicle searches are a common police tool, but they also present a real risk to privacy rights. This decision reinforces that police powers are not unlimited and must be exercised within strict legal boundaries. It sends a message that courts will carefully scrutinize searches to protect Canadians' constitutional rights. R v. Underwood sets an important precedent for future cases involving searches during traffic stops. It clarifies that reasonable suspicion must be more than guesswork and that searches incident to arrest require a lawful arrest in the first place. This helps ensure that evidence admitted in court is obtained fairly and respects fundamental freedoms. Thanks for listening to this episode of Bench Briefs. Be sure to join us next time as we unpack another key decision shaping Canadian law. Until then, take care.